The stories were all heartbreaking and shocking. In 1997, Melissa Drexler was a high school senior in Toms River, New Jersey, when she gave birth to a baby in a bathroom stall during her prom. She plucked the baby from a toilet, put him in a plastic bag, and left him to die in a trash can. She became infamous across the nation as the prom mom because she was back on the dance floor after leaving her newborn son to die. She later served 3 years of a 20-year sentence for manslaughter.
In Mobile, Alabama, in 1998, a young woman, aided by her mother, drowned her newborn baby in a toilet. In Houston, Texas, 13 babies were abandoned in a 10-month period between 1998 and 1999. 3 of the babies were dead when they were discovered, one of them in a garbage bin at a high school. Her 15-year-old mother was charged with murder. Lawmakers across the nation realized something had to be done to save these babies and give their mothers another option. One by one, starting with Texas in 1999, states began passing safe haven laws that allow mothers to legally surrender their newborns within certain guidelines. Now, all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico all have safe haven laws.
Some states require the surrender within 72 hours of the child's birth. Some give up to 60 days. Babies can be dropped off at fire stations and hospitals, and the mother will not be charged with any crime. If she is offered help for her own situation, she is free to turn it down and leave.
When Monica Kelsey learned she had been abandoned as an infant, she realized that having to come face to face with an authority figure to hand over the baby could be too hard for some women. She had seen a baby box at a church in South Africa where newborns could be safely surrendered without anyone seeing the mom, and knew this could be the answer. She started her organization, Safe Haven Baby Boxes, to publicize safe haven laws and to give women an anonymous way to surrender their babies. Here's Monica describing how the baby boxes work.
When a mom walks up to one of our Safe Haven Baby Boxes and she needs to utilize this resource that we have available for her, she's going to walk directly up to the box. She's going to pull the little handle. She's going to open up the door. As soon as this door is opened up, one of the alarms is already going off. It's a silent alarm that mom will not hear. When she places baby inside the box, another alarm goes off that she will not hear. When she shuts the door, she won't be able to reopen the door. The door actually locks once baby's placed inside. The baby can only be retrieved from the inside of the fire station, or in this case, the inside of the hospital. Inside, you'll see a green light that is always green if there is no baby in our box. Once there's a baby placed in our box, you'll see a green plus a yellow orangish light because the beam from across has been broken. After mom places her baby in one of our Safe Haven Baby Boxes, one of the staff or the EMTs or the paramedics or the nurses will come down to the baby box. They're going to open the inside door. They're going to grab the bassinet and they're going to head for the emergency room.
We've invited Monica here this evening to talk about Safe Haven Baby Boxes and how lives are being saved. Welcome, Monica, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, Monica, could you tell us about the baby box that you saw in South Africa and how it influenced you?
Absolutely. I was actually on a speaking tour in Cape Town, South Africa, with another speaker named Pam Stenzel. And we were walking into a church, and this was the only church in Cape Town that had what they called a baby safe. And as I'm walking by it, I was so intrigued by this because as a firefighter and a medic, I knew about the safe haven law, but I had never seen anything like this before. And so I asked the person that was walking us in, I said, what is this and what is it used for? And they said, well, women bring their children here at night so that they don't have to throw them in dumpsters if they don't want their faces seen. And so they had saved 7 babies that year. And so on the flight back from Cape Town, South Africa, on a Delta napkin, I hand drew my version of the baby box and then came back to the United States and started the uphill battle of getting them implemented.
That's what I was going. That's my next question. How did you get it started? What hoops did you have to jump through?
Oh my gosh. So the first thing I had to do was find somebody that would build me a box. This had never been done in America before. And so I took my little Delta napkin to a builder in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I said, I want you to build me a baby box. And he says, oh, a what? And I said, I want a baby box. I'm going to put these in fire stations and save babies. And he's like, well, for $700, I'll build you a prototype. So I wrote a check from my husband's account and walked out of there like a boss and thinking, okay, this is going to be easy, not realizing how tough this really was going to be, because then I had to get a legislator that believed in this. And so, through the last 6 years, we've been able to get people to understand that if it's a dumpster or a safe haven baby box that's an electronically monitored to the 911 system, that a baby box is going to be a better option than that dumpster, which we've been seeing across this country for many years.
No, absolutely. So the first box, Monica, was installed in 2016. So has your project grown since then?
Well, the very first baby box was placed in my firehouse in Woodburn, Indiana. My husband's the mayor. We kind of joke about this because it was kind of easy to talk him into allowing me to put a box in his firehouse. He wanted to sleep with his wife at night. And so that was the very first one in April of 2016. On Monday of this week, I just blessed the 114th baby box in the nation.
Oh, God bless. You also operate a hotline. What are moms looking for when they call that number?
No call is ever the same. There are different situations for different people that call. I mean, we've helped a military mom surrender. We've helped a 13-year-old surrender. We've helped a 44-year-old surrender. We've done 9 adoption plans, countless parenting plans. See, the hotline, I think people kind of think that we're only directing women to these boxes, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. What we're trying to do is give these women all of their safe and legal options that their law allows in their state, because we're getting calls from all over this country. And so if we give them options, they're going to choose what's best for them, because what I would do might not be what they would do. And so we have to make sure that they're okay with the option that they choose. And so we've done, I don't even know how many parenting plans we've done or how many resources to crisis pregnancy centers. But we've had a total of 21 babies in our boxes since November of 2017. We've helped 122 women safely surrender by handoffs. And then, of course, 9 adoptions. And I don't even know how many parenting plans we're up to now. So we do a lot. That hotline is what we call the workhorse of our organization.
Wow. Well, Monica, your website includes instructions also for people who would like to place baby boxes in their communities. Are there any more in the works right now?
Oh my gosh, we've probably got, I'm going to say, we're probably going to hit about 200 by maybe the end of this year, beginning of next year. And right now we're at 114. So we have a lot of communities that are seeing what Indiana has done. And, Indiana, prior to baby boxes, we were finding 2 to 3 dead babies in our state every year. And since we launched, we haven't had a dead baby in our state in the last 6 years. So the success lies in the numbers. And so people are seeing that and they want to be a part of it. So we're encouraged to see people being proactive on this movement of safe haven surrenders.
Monica, it must be very difficult for a mother to surrender her baby, but it really is an act of love, isn't it?
It truly is. For a woman to basically say, I want what's best for my child and it's not me, that's heroic. And I'll tell you, I get to walk alongside these moms. That's where I feel like I'm bringing the most to these women, because my birth mom did not have this back in 1973. There was no one to walk alongside her, on her journey. And so I have become friends with a lot of these parents that have surrendered in our boxes, that utilized our services. And I'll tell you, they're some of the strongest women and men that I've ever met in my life. And I'll tell you, they're heroes. I don't think they get enough credit. I think women who choose to place their child for adoption or a safe surrender, I don't think we give them enough credit, because their heart is breaking for the betterment of their child. And we all should celebrate that.
Amen.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much. Monica, we just really appreciate you taking the time from your work, and we are so inspired by what you're doing. And we thank you for the life-saving work that you're doing.
Well, thank you guys so much for having us.
Teresa, in 1998, I was a reporter in New York City. So the prom mom story was a really big story. And the news editor at the time, his name is Ed Donnelly, a consummate newsman, very pro-life. He was angry. And he was not as angry at prom mom herself as the culture that we created that allows people to think, well, I could have aborted the baby, so what's the difference? So that's really, the baby boxes, the safe haven is so important. It's a different option. It's a better option. Don't kill your baby. And so we just want to make sure that everybody has the website for Monica. It's www.shbb.org. And the phone number is 888-742-2133.
Yeah, and Leslie, I remember that story also. You know, when it was happening, and it was such a very sad time. And I also find that, you know, even in our pro-life work, there are so many people unaware of these safe haven laws,
Absolutely.
and certainly about these baby boxes. So we really want to encourage all of you to please share this information. It's just as important as all the other information that we share as pro-lifers, but this is a real valid option for these women to be able to bring their baby to a safe place. And we're so grateful for the work that Monica is doing.